बहुत एक्सपैंड करेंगे से लक्ष्य से जिते एफडीआई आसो जिते एफआईआई आसो ओडिशा भल हो तेणु आम दुबई जो जाइलु से दुबई भी बहुत वेरी वेरी एक्साइटेड अबाउट Odisha's future, Odisha's prospects. So this is yet another chain. मुख्यमंत्री अनेक सहर में करेंगे, हैदराबाद में करेंगे, बॉम्बे में करेंगे, आज दिल्ली में कर So this is a very good beginning. कि सेमिति अनुमान करी होगा नहीं, but definitely it will be a very impressive amount that will come to this. Roman emperor, all conquering. क्या करें?
We also warmly welcome Shri Pratap Keshari, Honorable Minister of Industries, MSME and Energy, Odisha, Shri Suresh Chandra Mohapatra, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, Shri Hemant Sharma, Principal Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Odisha, and Shri Pratap, Senior Vice President, FICCI. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you who have joined us today for the curtain raiser of the Government of Odisha's mega flagship event, Make in Odisha. Today is indeed a very auspicious occasion, and it is rather apt that we commence today's program by paying obeisance to the remover of all obstacles, Lord Ganesha, on the occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi. I start today's proceedings by welcoming all the assembled guests, the industry captains, heads of industry associations, various representatives from foreign associations, friends from the media to this meet, wherein you will be privy to the flagship event of Government of Odisha, Make in Odisha 2022. With the quintessential thought of Atithi Deva Bhava, I welcome you to our state of Odisha so that together we can make this a hugely successful third edition of this event. We launched this event in the year 2016 to showcase our state to the entire world. The success of the event can be gauged from the fact that Odisha was able to garner 124 proposals worth 2 lakh crores. The second edition held in 2018 was even grander with the participation of 5,000 plus delegates from 21 states in India and 19 countries, giving it a distinct international flavor. The conclave attracted 180 plus investment intents worth 4.19 lakh crores. The unfortunate COVID pandemic stopped us from conducting the third edition of this biennial event in 2020, but with the pandemic ebbing, we have gathered here today to announce the launch of the Make in Odisha 2022, which is going to be bigger, brighter and grander than all the previous editions put together. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I would like to now invite Sri Suresh Chandra Mohapatra, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, requesting him to deliver the welcome address.
MPs, Honorable Secretaries from different ministries of Government of India, invited dignitaries who are presented today, and captains of different industries. A very good evening to all of you. I'd like to extend the warmest greetings from Odisha State. At the outset, I'd like to thank you all for accepting our invitation to this curtain raiser event for the Make in Odisha Conclave 2022. This is the third edition of Make in Odisha Conclave, our state's flagship investment summit. A humble beginning was made in 2016 to showcase the opportunities offered by Odisha and to provide a platform for industry leaders from India and across the world to discuss a roadmap for industrial development in the coming years. It was a roaring success that saw a footfall of over 18,500. During the event, the state received over 120 investment intents valued at more than 2 lakh crore rupees. In 2018, we hosted the second edition, which raised the bar even higher. We received a footfall of over 45,000 and received investment intents valued at more than 4 lakh crore rupees. The famous Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises once said, "The prerequisite for more economic equality in the world is industrialization." This has been one of the key philosophies behind the concept of making Odisha Conclave. Under the visionary leadership of Sri Naveen, Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Odisha government has been one of the few governments to have balanced the need for pro-people welfare policies with pro-industry economic policies. Over the last 2 decades, while Odisha has achieved phenomenal success in all social indicators and transformed the public education and public health sector, we have also seen tremendous growth in the industry sector. From a predominantly agrarian economy to being the industrial hub of the East, the past 2 decades have been the story of the rise of Odisha, a rise that is yet to hit the peak. We have always been grateful to nature for providing us with a resource advantage. But it has been the concerted efforts by the Government of Odisha and the people of Odisha that has ensured we achieve success and prosperity by leveraging our natural resource advantage. But the task is only half done. As we enter into a new era of industrialization propelled by advancements in technology and a philosophy of sustainability, we require a collaborative effort between the government, industry, and the people of Odisha to ensure the consistent growth. The Making Odisha Conclave 2022 is a platform that brings all the stakeholders together. While the Government of Odisha will use the platform to showcase the vast existing and emerging opportunities in the state for the investors, we hope that industry captains and leaders will provide us with a framework for the future. Our state government understands that in order to attract investors, we need to build a conducive business ecosystem. Odisha has brought in progressive policies, quality infrastructure, dedicated parks, plug and play facilities, etc. We have also laid special emphasis on skilling. Today, skill in Odisha has become a brand. Through the Making Odisha Conclave 2022, Odisha wants to build new relationships and strengthen the old relationships with all of you. We want you all to be a partner in the Odisha's growth story. Once again, I extend a very, very warm welcome to each one of you. I hope that today marks the beginning of a glorious chapter of long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationships. Thank you, everyone.
To the forthcoming 3rd edition of Making Odisha 2022. As the saying goes, seeing is beginning, we will now, ladies and gentlemen, present the incredible journey of Odisha. Can we play the video, please?
But above all, in manufacturing and trade. The world appreciates what we make in Odisha, creating global emissaries of brand Odisha, partnering with the world and for the world. That's the core idea that inspired the Make in Odisha Conclave back in 2016. The first edition became a runaway success story with large quantum of investment intents and a massive footfall. Odisha announced its arrival in style. The sector-specific talks opened up multiple avenues of discussions and innovations. The enthusiasm at the expo went beyond all expectations. The second edition in 2018 further strengthened the intent and purpose of the conclave. Both the investment intents and footfalls experienced a manifold increase. over 5,000 delegates, including those from 19 countries, encouraged us to improve even more. Social media played its part in full measure. And now, once again, MIO 2022 is all set to enthrall and inspire. Eminent business thought leaders share their perspectives and expectations from the future. A special session on technology transfer seeks to enhance industry-institution linkages, a vast number of B2B and G2B meetings, a multi-pronged editors' roundtable to discuss the developmental way forward of various key sectors. The conclave will also underline Odisha's core strengths to the world, highlighting exquisite skills, building from the cradle of a new age workforce, and innovative startups that are high on ideas, promoting entrepreneurship for women, building an inclusive, resilient Odisha, highlighting the cause of ecotourism, to give the planet its due respect. The conclave also celebrates Odisha's colossal culture by blending together heritage and modernity. Last but not the least, a comprehensive Make in Odisha Expo on the state's industrial acumen and investment opportunities. At MIO 2022, Odisha seeks partners in progress from all across the world. Let's grow united. We are ready to redefine your expectations.
I invite you all to the Make in Odisha Conclave. Come join the juggernaut.
Secretary, Industries Department, Skill Development and Technical Education, and Chairman IPICOL and IDCO to kindly enlighten us with a presentation on the business ecosystem in Odisha.
Honorable Minister Industries, Senior Vice President from FICCI, Chief Secretary Odisha, Senior Officers from Government of India, very senior representatives from FICCI and Indian industry, representatives from industry associations, Honorable MPs, it's a great honor for me to be giving this brief but detailed presentation on some of the aspects of Odisha which you know, some which you might discover today. The short video which you just saw gave you a glimpse of what Odisha has to offer and also what Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 would look like. Odisha has been a story of transformation. The unique factor, the parameter, single biggest factor which defines Odisha and keeps it in contrast with most other states of the Indian Union today is our political stability. We have been led by the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik for more than 22 years. He must have done something for the people of Odisha. There must be something good which is happening in Odisha under his leadership, that he has been elected again and again and again and is now serving his 5th term in a keenly contested democratic India. There is something unique about him. There is something unique about Odisha and the political stability which is important. This political stability gives us what investors community calls policy certainty. Our policies are not cast in stone, they are responsive, but we have no policy flip-flops. And unfortunately for many others, but fortunately for us, we are surrounded by a group of states where you see very quick turnarounds, very quick flip-flops, but we are a state who take pride. This political stability gives us policy certainty. It has given us pro-people governance, and it has given us a financial strength, financial muscle, which no state in the country can equal today. We have grown at more than 10.1% over the last 2 years. We are one of the fastest growing economies in India. We have seen not only good progress over the last 20 years, but we have also seen rapid progress, rapid recovery post-pandemic. While the whole country grappled with the COVID-induced drop-downs, we were one of the economies which could see a very quick recovery. Just before this meeting, Shri Deepak Bagla, Managing Director of Invest India, he just gave a statistic that in between 2020 and 2022, our economy has grown by 14.6 times. That is the kind of growth which we have seen in the state. In the last 2 years, we have received more than 4 lakh crores of investment intents despite a global pandemic. And why is that so? We would see shortly. What defines us today again is our mineral advantage, the geographical advantage which the state has been bestowed with. We are the largest source of iron ore, bauxite, manganese, chromite, nickel for the Indian industry today. We have the good presence and a good spread of all the mineral resources in the state. As you can see on your map, North and West Odisha is rich in iron ore, Central Odisha is also rich in iron ore and coal, and South Odisha is where bauxite and other resources lie. So we are today the largest producer of iron ore, largest producer of bauxite, second largest producer of coal, largest producer of chromite, and this gives us not only an advantage on the mineral front, but also a tremendous advantage on the economic and industrial front. And we are not only the largest producer of iron ore, we were the largest producer of iron ore, today we are the largest producer of steel. We are also the largest producer of stainless steel. We are the largest producer of alumina, the largest producer of aluminium. The tremendous growth which this industry, mining and metallurgy, which we would witness in the coming few years, gives us immense set of new opportunities. Mechanization of the existing mines, operation of new mines, utilization of lower grade of ores, use of advanced technology solutions, and a policy where we provide long-term linkage, assurance of long-term raw material stability to the industries who come and set up their shop in Odisha. What we have seen in mineral resources is our continued progress, but this gives us a tremendous set of new opportunities in logistics, in mining support services, in circular economy, in iron ore beneficiation, in logistics and manufacturing and servicing of mining equipment. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the largest demand center of mining equipment, mining machinery, mining services is in Odisha. World's largest iron ore slurry pipeline is being set up in Odisha as we speak. The second largest is also being set up in Odisha. The third largest is also being set up in Odisha, and the fourth largest is already in Odisha. That is the kind of opportunities this will create in the years to come. Because of the value addition policy which we promoted under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, as I mentioned, we are a very large producer of metals, and this value addition policy makes us the single largest producer of steel, stainless steel, alumina and aluminium, and a very large producer of cement and coal-based thermal power. We have set up this infrastructure in a planned manner. Our mineral belt and our industrial belt are integrated with the logistics. It is seamless connectivity from the mineral zone in Kyonger and Sundargarh to the manufacturing zone in Kalinganagar, Angul, Dhenkanal, and up to the ports at Dhamra, Paradip and Gopalpur. The intense road and rail network and the ports which we have set up brings a seamless connectivity to the mineral zone and the industrial zone. There are dedicated industrial parks for steel, for aluminium, for cement, for food processing, and for all the major segments of industry which we are now promoting in this state. Incidentally, the world's largest steel plant is being set up in Odisha right now. The second largest steel plant is also being set up in Odisha. and the third largest steel plant also is being set up in Odisha. India's largest stainless steel plant is already in Odisha, and Abhyuday Jindal from JSLP represents that company here for you today. But that's not all. Our mineral, metallurgy and metal story is known. What I presented to you is the future for the next 10, 20, 30 years. What would change in this sector and what new opportunities would come. But we already have a massive presence in chemicals and petrochemicals owing to the presence of Indian Oil Corporation. Mr. Vaidya, chairperson of Indian Oil Corporation, is here today. He just met the Honorable Chief Minister and we are discussing a very large investment on the east coast of India, probably the largest investment on the east coast of India in a polymer complex. They are already running a large refinery. At Paradip, we are one of the 3 states in the country to have the PCPIR, but we are the only state in the country in PCPIR with land further available for allocation. Close to Paradip port, ready to walk in, 5,000 acres of land, factory gate availability of water, factory gate availability of power, not more than 10 kilometers from a major port. We have good presence of chemical and fertilizer industry there. IFCO, Paradip, phosphates and others have big presence. A very large PPM MEG complex is coming up, again courtesy IOCL, and a technical textiles park is being set up nearby. In textiles and technical textiles also, we are the next leaders on the east coast of India. All that we have seen in technical textiles till now in India has been on the west coast, but now the emerging opportunity is actually on the east coast and we are ready for it. The Bhadrak Technical Textiles Park, the Paradip Textiles Region and the other textiles park which we have set up today are good opportunities for all of you. IT and ITS amongst the tier 2 cities and states are dedicated focus on some of these sectors which you see. We know that this advantage in metals and advantage of infrastructure being on the east coast gives us good opportunities in the new emerging sectors, whether it is apparel or in metal downstream, agri and seafood processing, handloom, handicrafts and textiles, tourism, chemicals and plastics. And we are one of the states in the country where we not only have sectoral policies to support these, but we also have sectoral industrial parks for each one of these sectors in Odisha. This is some of the industrial infrastructure which we have set up. PCPI I already mentioned, the National Investment Manufacturing Zone at Kalinagar. Today you will be surprised, Honorable Chief Minister has advised us to do a similar road show, a smaller one at Jamshedpur with Tata Steel. 35 companies attended and 22 of them have come in the last 2 months to plan their investments in Kalinagar. Why? Because with the acquisition of NIL by Tata Steel under the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, the entire steel industry in East India, whether it is Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh and parts of West Bengal, is now migrating towards Odisha, and tremendous opportunities there, and we have the right infrastructure. Dhamra investment region close to the Dhamra port, which is a government port run by Adani, more than 1100 acres of land with factory gate availability of water and power. Gopalpur Industrial Park, SEZ 3,500 acres, BPA 1,500 acres. Aluminium Park at Angul is a unique proposition where close to the Nalco smelter you get molten metal. Imagine all the auto component manufacturers or extrusion manufacturers in the national capital region, they buy aluminium or haul it all the way from Angul or from other places in Odisha, because aluminium is there only in Odisha. To this place, pay 10,000 rupees per ton as startage, spend more than 7,000 rupees per ton to melt it. Set up a shop in Angul Aluminium Park, you get molten metal. You not only save the transportation cost, you save tremendous energy costs. Your EBITDA goes up by not less than 2%. Technical Textiles Park, I just mentioned to you. Seafood Park, Bhubaneswar. Odisha is the third largest exporter of seafood in India, but we are the only state who are looking at it in an integrated manner. This seafood park very close to Bhubaneswar has dedicated plug-and-play infrastructure for seafood processing and is getting populated very at a very fast rate. The others, Info Valley and Info City. Info City is already saturated and Info Valley is the new upcoming destination for IT industry. The point, ladies and gentlemen, here is, if you look at the map of Odisha, you will find that on the east coast, the National Highway 16, what is called the East Coast Economic Corridor, which connects Kolkata with Chennai, is where we have planned investment destinations. All the parts which I mentioned to you are along this national highway. For instance, the Gopalpur Residential Park is on the national highway. You step out of the national highway, you enter a 5,000 acres park. Just before we came to this meeting, we had one-on-one meetings with Honorable Chief Minister. Three investors could see the advantages at Gopalpur and agreed to set up. What you see on the west side of Odisha's map is a new expressway, the Biju Patnaik expressway. It connects 9 districts of Odisha. The expressway is ready. It is functional, more than 440 kilometers. Along this expressway, we have set up 9 industrial parks. Each park more than 200 acres of land, ready to move in. Factory gate availability of water and power. In fact, you would notice that I am repeating this again and again. Factory gate availability of power, because we are the only state today which you can actually claim factory gate availability of power. We have power surplus. We have not only power surplus, our cost of power is probably the cheapest in this part of the country. What about the new age economic sectors? So we are conscious of the fact that there is a transition which is happening, and as world industry and Indian industry transits to a more decarbonized regime, new opportunities will emerge in renewable energy and equipment, green hydrogen and ammonia, and decarbonization. This is the future. And having recognized this future, we have framed our policies targeting this. Today, green ammonia and green hydrogen is being talked of across the world. But in India, Odisha is a state where the current base business case of green hydrogen already exists. It's energy transition which is happening, which is inevitable, it is imperative, and before it happens, ours is a state which is prepared for it, and new opportunities for people like you. Just a mention about ease of doing business. We are an achiever state. Our single window, all states have single window, but our single window was awarded by the Government of India as the best single window system in the country. And you can see my photograph there receiving the award. 53 services from 18 departments in one application, one payment gateway, and no wonder that we have made such a fast recovery post-pandemic. Ease of doing business is one thing, cost of doing business is quite another. Cost of industrial land, readily developed industrial land, factory gate availability of power, all these costs, if you calculate in a net present value, you will find that on cost of doing business also we score very well. The logistics costs, all the steel which is made in Odisha or the aluminum which is made in Odisha is not consumed in Odisha. It must be travelling across the state and across the world. That is why we are an infrastructure ready state. Ports on the east coast, our railways and roadways are all heavy, they are robust. Our infrastructure is meant for steel, it is meant for aluminum. So it is so robust, and wherever you are located in Odisha, you can cater to the North Indian, West Indian and South Indian markets very easily. Skilled labor, or Chennai or Pune, the most skilled, the most disciplined and the most progressive workers are from Odisha. I challenge you to look inside your own plants and you will find that this is the case. Our investment facilitation 6 years ago, it used to take us more than a year. Today, we handle application in less than 20 days. 20 days is all it takes to cater to one application in Odisha. Skilled Odisha, I mentioned to you, very large setup of technical and professional institutions. We are 4% of India's population. But last year, Government of India released the list of top 100 ITIs in the country. 11 ITIs of Odisha figure in the list. We are 4% of India's population, but 11% of the skilled workforce comes from Odisha. Incentives. As I mentioned to you, progressive policies, 30% capital investment subsidy, 100% exemption on stamp duty, registration charges, 100% exemption of electricity duty, ₹2 per unit reimbursement on electricity tariff, and this is an overwhelming advantage. We did a calculation with people like you, and our claim is that for an investment worth ₹1,000 crore, our package for the desired sectors gives a clear advantage of more than 232 crores. It lifts your EBITDA by more than 7.23%. Imagine the kind of advantage which our policies give. But that is not all, ladies and gentlemen. The last statement which you see is not my statement, it's a statement which comes from the Honorable Chief Minister's direction. For the thrust and priority sectors, for sectors which we want to prosper in Odisha, if any state in the country today offers an incentive X, we are prepared to offer X plus. That's a commitment which we have to you. More important, our Honorable Chief Minister gives us one direction. Mr. Sharma, if you can afford 100 rupees, do not promise 101. But if you have promised 100 rupees, make sure that 100 is delivered and not 99. What you see on top, the Mo Sarkar is a unique initiative in Odisha. Honorable Chief Minister rings up, he makes 20 phone calls every day on a randomly selected set of numbers. Anybody who comes and meets me, my department, if we call IDCO, Pollution Control Board, Fire Safety, Factories and Boilers, their numbers are logged automated. A random list of 20 numbers is generated. Honorable Chief Minister makes a call every day and he asks a set of questions. Were you welcomed by my officers? Did you face any harassment? Did anybody ask for a bribe? And I can tell you that there are examples of very, very senior persons in government bureaucracy. At 3:30 p.m. Honorable Chief Minister made a call, got an adverse observation. At 4 p.m. that officer was out of service. This is the kind of governance, this is the model of governance which we have in Odisha, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I can stay here with proud and I can make these commitments because we believe in honesty, integrity and transparency. This is the latest commitment from our side. 30 acres of land in 30 days, 50 acres of land in not more than 50 days, 100 acres of land in not more than 100 days we can deliver to you in the industrial areas which we have. You can come, you can test it. There are examples here in this hall where we have already delivered. We have Shubham Gupta here, Shubham Gupta from VCI Chemicals. He met us on 5th of March at Kanpur, gave us an application, and in less than 30 days he had 32 acres of land. Shubham, you can just stand up and tell this, that he had this at Kalinganagar. Up to 50 acres and up to 100 acres. We have Rohit here, Rohit Agarwal, he represents Rimjim Ispat, one of the well-known stainless steel companies. Again, we met him at Kanpur in his plant, invited him to Odisha, and less than 100 days his plant is now getting commissioned. This is the speed with which we deliver. Now to know more of this, I just gave you a snapshot. To know more of this, what we have to offer, explore the opportunities in detail, come and visit us in the Make in Odisha Conclave from 30th November to 4th of December. 5 days, 7 leadership talks and 20 sectoral sessions. Bhubaneswar is very well connected. There is a good presence of good quality hotels and other to take care of your accommodation, stay and travel arrangements. We have planned this event in a highly interactive manner. It would be an immersive event. Each segment of the Indian industry would get a chance to know and learn about the opportunities which we have. 20 sectoral sessions on 20 sectors which we would want to promote. So ladies and gentlemen, today being the curtain raiser event for Make in Odisha, we invite you to Odisha to join the Juggernaut and participate in this conclave. That's all from my side. These 3 officers represent, they would be your guides. If any one of you would want to know more, explore more, Shri Ravikant is our resident commissioner here. He and Shri Shubhendra Nayak and my colleague Shri Kalyan Mohanty. If you want to click the picture, we will give all these details to you in the folders which we have given. Odisha is a beautiful place. While you come to Odisha for the Make in Odisha Conclave, don't forget to enjoy the beaches, the wildlife, the ecotourism and the art, craft and legacy of Odisha. That's all from my side, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
And on the dais we have our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Patnaik, the Chief Secretary of the Government of Odisha, the Principal Secretary of the State Department, Mr. Panda, and I welcome you all, especially the senior officials from the Government of India and the captains of industry of the Delhi chapter. And I personally thank FICCI for having organized all this thing for the sake of Odisha. You heard Mr. Sharma, Principal Secretary of the State Department, give you an exhaustive narration about what we intend to do and how we are progressing. What my Honorable Chief Minister wants and what is the vision for the state. I'll just take you a little back. Many of you here do know Odisha, and especially media friends. I believe you for some time had different opinions about Odisha. Our 480 kilometer length coastline. We have got agri problems, we have got financial problems at home. We sorted out all these problems in the last 50 years. And we prepared the youth of my state under the visionary guidance of our Chief Minister. Unless we have a future for the children, future for the youth of the state is ruined. So first the food, the social stability, the basic infrastructure, then we take the big leap. And here today, after hearing the presentation from Mr. Chandra, you can see what we do for the last 15 years. We haven't reached to the stage to be addressing like this in front of the Honorable Chief Minister as to what we did then. Many made fun of us. Many kept silent. But we persevered, we never lost a goal. And today, I am proud and I can say with conviction that in Odisha is the next industrial destination of Odisha. And with the full principle of Mohapatra, where you just heard Honorable CM interact with everybody. And there is always a second component which is very important. That's called IIT. Teamwork, technology, transparency, time, which will lead to transformation. And the person who is running is also sitting behind the Chief Minister. Now these two C's are guiding us to the target. We have to conceive things, we have to provide what we say, and we have to stand by what we do. And this is the guidance of my Chief Minister and as a Minister of Industries. I can assure you the words spoken here, the slide shown here, shows the commitment of the government, our Chief Minister, the officials of the government, and part of the cabinet, as a political fraternity, the democracy, and the people of Odisha, especially the youth of Odisha. We are ready to accept, and I would request you, in this occasion, the vice officials of the rest of anything good we will start from the next occasion. And as luck would have it, today we are having it, and I request all of you to come have a look at Odisha. Come and join the government. Come help Odisha to rise. Because, again, like I am repeating myself, with conviction I can say the next industrial hub is Odisha. Thank you, gentlemen, once again for coming here. And thank you, Chief, for organizing this. And once again, all of you, press, media, everybody, thanks a lot.
As a leader, he has brought change and development to the masses. He's brought respect and recognition to the state, which is now not only known across the country, but across the globe for its development, disaster management, tourism, encouragement for sports, among many other things. It is no wonder that he is not only the longest serving Chief Minister, but the most loved and adored by all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor now to request Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik, requesting him to kindly address us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I extend the warmest of greetings to you all. It is a pleasure to be present with you for the curtain raiser of the Make in Odisha Conclave 2022, the flagship investors meet of Odisha. This is the third edition of the Make in Odisha Conclave. After the very successful events in 2016 and 2018, we are planning to make the MIO Conclave 2022 even grander and more successful. I seek support from everyone present here in ensuring a successful Make in Odisha Conclave 2022. From predominantly agriculture-based economy, Odisha has emerged as one of the leading industry-driven economies in India in the last 2 decades. Odisha's abundant natural resources, skilled and productive human resources, stable policy, progressive policies, and strong result-oriented governance provide a unique ecosystem. Today, Odisha is ranked amongst the top states in India in terms of live manufacturing investments and has been accorded the Achiever status in the recently released Ease of Doing Business ratings by the Government of India. From being a state known for natural disasters to being the leader in disaster management in the world, from being an industrially underdeveloped economy to being a destination of choice for large manufacturing investments, the Odisha growth story is also a story of efficient, agile, progressive and pro-people governance. The Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 is a platform for our state to showcase our growth story and present what we have to offer to investors across the globe. It is also a platform for industry captains and thought leaders to talk about the future outlook of various industrial sectors. The Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 with business leadership talks, sectoral sessions, startup sessions, and women entrepreneurship sessions, along with cultural programs, offers an array of action spread over 4 days. The conclave will create and deliver outstanding business opportunities for continuous and sustainable growth for all stakeholders. I welcome you all to Odisha and seek your participation in the Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 being held in Bhubaneswar from 30th November to 4th December 2022. Come, invest in Odisha and be our partner in ushering in a new industrial age in Odisha. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I request Shri Hemant kindly conduct an interaction with the delegation present here today.
You know that we are running out of time and we have our honorable CM has been there with us for 4.5 hours now. We started at 4 p.m. and done it for almost 8:50. So please be brief and deliver your
Honorable CM Odisha, Sri Patnaik, dignity on the dais and all. I am just here to reiterate Indian Oil's commitment to energize the development agenda of Odisha. And we are already having 2 mega projects lined up, as we already discussed. One is the mega scale naphtha cracker and the textile park at Odisha. And we are all set to take it to a new level. And this will generate a huge amount of employment. I mean, the main reason of petrochemicals is the employment generation that happens in the downstream. And I am sure this will bring a very big fillip to the development agenda of Odisha. So I wish you all the very best. And Indian Oil stands committed to whatever we have said. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I now request you to sing.
Your and friends, I belong to Odisha cadre. I had started my civil services journey in Odisha. That was way back in 1985. And I'm extremely happy to be here because Odisha has been my home. As we all know, Odisha has rich handloom heritage, everybody knows. Whether it is a Samalpuri Ikat, or whether it is a Bonkai, or whether it is Havaspuri Salahandi, or whether it is a Khandwa Patka, everybody knows that. But then Odisha doesn't right now figure very prominently on the textile map of the country. But that can and that will change very quickly in my opinion. Because Odisha, in fact I remember last October, Hemant had organized a workshop. It was called Making Odisha Textile Hub of East. I had gone there and there were very important textile players present there. Players like Sai Export, which is the largest exporting house in the country, to Aditya Birla, to Page Industries. And already developments that have taken place. Everybody knows about the unit which has been set up, garmenting unit which has been set up by Sai Exports or by Arun. In fact, a homegrown player whom I have known as a secretary of mines when I was there in the state, I have known him a mining person, has set up a wide lotus kind of a 500 machines, a garmenting unit, and is going to expand very soon. I feel that every ingredient which is required for making Odisha textile hub of the country is present in Odisha. Very proactive government, proactive bureaucracy, or whether it's a policy, not only industrial policy. Odisha has a very progressive textile policy. It has very good infrastructure, very great connectivity, number of ports. So everything, the skill, manpower. And one thing which perhaps was not as important earlier, like we had the cotton which is grown in Raigada, Kalahandi, etc. But now we have a good presence of man-made fiber is going to be there. Everybody knows that man-made fiber is and technical textile is going to be the next big thing. And the basic building block for man-made fiber and technical textile is PTA and MEG. And IOCL chairman just spoke. The IOCL is setting up a fairly big PTA unit and MEG unit, and then further downstream in the value chain. So I think with all this ingredients in place, there is no reason that Odisha cannot be textile hub at least of the Eastern India. So I am very hopeful of that, and I request all of you, all the industry friends who are coming here, do come to Odisha and do make investments. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So finally, we have Srimati Arti Ahuja, Secretary, Department of Chemicals.
And dear colleagues, I started work in Odisha in 32 years back in Kalahandi, where Odisha had a very different name. And today when we are standing here with a whole lot of pride, because in these many years, what Odisha has achieved and the pace at which it has achieved is something unsurpassed. The poverty levels have come down, education has gone up, life expectancy has gone up. This happens because of a committed leadership, and it's been an honor and a privilege to work with the Chief Minister, and I must tell you that I have seen his focus, his compassion for the poor, and his thinking ahead on many occasions where I had the privilege of interacting with him, and that remains to this day. And that is why, and one thing we must realize that for any governance, it is very difficult to build systems. Data I am telling you is objective data, third-party data. And something that you would have seen, was started by buying a hockey team. It shows the proactive nature, the far thinking of the state. What can be a better brand ambassador? The response during COVID, the response during disasters, universally acknowledged. So those are the kind of systems that have been set up. And I keep talking to the industry colleagues in my department, and I keep exhorting them that we must go to Odisha because the PCPIR is there, the facilities are there. We need to just do the plug and play together. There are people who are willing to invest with the industry, with IOCL and with other partners. We are there to fully support Odisha in the endeavour of chemical.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Shri Chandra, Senior Vice President, FICCI, kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Shri Naveen Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Pratap, Keshari, Honorable Minister of Industries, MSME and Energy, Government of Odisha, Shri Suresh, Mohapatra, Chief Secretary of Odisha, Honorable Members of Parliament, Secretaries to Government of India, Senior Officials of the State Government, Dignitaries, business leaders, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to convey my deepest gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister for his presence at today's event. Naveen Babu is undoubtedly one of the most erudite political leaders of our times, and it was a privilege listening to him spell out his vision for a vibrant, industrialized, and pro-people Odisha. Sir, under your dynamic leadership, Odisha has made rapid strides and is today recognized as a leading investment destination. What is heartening is that the investment commitments across 3 editions of the Make in Odisha events cover the entire spectrum from not just established sectors like minerals and metals, but also the newer focus areas like chemicals and petrochemicals and electronics manufacturing. This diversification, I believe, augurs well for the state, as does the fact that your vision is backed up with flawless execution by a committed and capable team. Odisha's success story encompasses not just attracting and grounding investments, but also in terms of implementing welfare programs, imparting skills to youth, and an internationally acclaimed disaster management approach targeting zero fatality. The hallmark of a developed state is holistic growth, which includes aspects like sports. In this context, your government is playing a stellar role in promoting traditional sports like hockey and kho-kho, besides, of course, investing heavily in sports infrastructure. FICCI is proud to have been associated with earlier editions of Make in Odisha, and as the national industry partner, I commit to you our fullest effort to make the third edition a resounding success. Given your personal commitment in reaching out to investors at home and abroad, our task is certainly made easier. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Sri Dev for his presence and guidance in making this event successful. He is an experienced hand, and his understanding of key issues relating to industry will be of great help. I would also like to thank the state administration led by Sri Mohapatra and ably aided by Sri Hemant Sharma for their support and encouragement. I mentioned earlier about flawless execution, and I believe this is an outcome of exemplary commitment, a proactive approach, and impeccable transparency through initiatives such as 5T. All this has come together to put Odisha on the ascendancy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you will be enthused by today's interaction and shall consider initiating or expanding, as the case may be, your engagement with Odisha. FICCI is delighted to facilitate dialogue with the state government, and I'm sure the outcome will be mutually beneficial. I'd like to thank everybody for their presence here today and reiterate once again my appreciation of the Honorable Chief Minister for his vision, commitment, and untiring efforts to make Odisha one of the leading states which contributes significantly to the India growth story. Thank you.
There's also an industry intention form. Request everybody to please fill this and leave it at the registration desk.
India where molten metal is available. So, and the third point is that our we deliver what we commit, the political stability and the kind of strong governance which we have in Odisha it differentiates us positively from most other places.